Hey, hello guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my another new video. So in this video I will be discussing that what you can possibly do to land a job as a fresher. So if you are someone who is graduated in recent batches, or if you are someone who is becoming a fresher, who is someone who is just graduated in 2026 or someone who has just graduated in 2025, the recent branches. So what can the recent pass outs do to land a job? So as you can see, what Google is suggesting is to develop AI ready skills, creating a portfolio, and establishing strong LinkedIn presence, as hiring is very competitive. So also it is suggesting to actively network through direct outreach rather than relying on solely on the applications. So it is telling that don't just apply blindly, but also apply actively through networking. So the key actions that freshers can take in 2026 to land a job. The first is to develop the in-demand digital skills. So first focus on your AI readiness. By AI readiness, I do not mean that you should be perfect in AI. You should be start right away, straight through. You should start developing the models, creating the machine learning models, develop the AI softwares. No, you should be AI ready. You should be knowing the how you can use the tools. You should be knowing how AI is effective in work, in your work. So you should be knowing the positives of AI, how AI can help you, and you should be good at the digital operations, the in-demand skills. So that is the common thing. The next thing that it is suggesting is to build a project portfolio. So many people, rather than they just build a resume and they put out some points, okay, there are some projects they put out the points and all, so that's okay. There are case studies, there are websites, but make sure that you, whenever if you are working on a personal project as well, you add some tangible points in your project. So if your project is effective, it seems effective, don't demonstrate that it is not useful. Many people, they do very useful projects, they do in demand projects, they are very good at coding, they do the useful work, useful project, and that project they do put in their portfolio, but they do not put in a way that it looks like a highlight or it looks like something special. So the way you mention it on your resume says everything. So it's your first impression. So if you have a good personal project, if you have good portfolio, then make sure to write in that way also. That is very important. So the bullet points should be the actionable bullet points, like I have developed X which resulted in Y. I have developed Y which resulted in, which reduced X number of, which reduced X millibytes or something like that. Developed or increased the speed by Y% by reducing the size by X%, something like that. So your portfolio should have actionable points. The next thing is optimize your LinkedIn profile. So whenever you create a LinkedIn profile, it should look like professional, and also you post about your learning journey, whatever you are learned. See, nowadays what is happening is, if you post your learning journey, if you post some certificate or whatever you are doing, if you post that, if you share with the network, it shows a positive reach, it shows a positive impression among the recruiters, among the hiring managers, because whatever you share, it shows that you are having the interest to share your work with connections. It shows that you are totally having the interest and you are not doing the work for the just sake of work. So you have to show your interest. So how you show your interest? You display your work to the managers, you display your work on LinkedIn, because recruiters are active on LinkedIn. So when they glance the LinkedIn, when they come across your interest, whatever you are posting, if there is some match, then they might reach you as well. So this is very important. The next is very important step, which is network proactively. So also while you are working on your projects or something, make sure you take time to also network proactively with the peers who are always the peers who are in the companies, different companies, not only your area of work. Like if you're working in IT, you reach people who are working in IT, network them definitely, but also network with other people as well. You network with the recruiters, you network with your college alumni, the people who have passed out from your college, your engineering college, or your undergraduate college. So make sure you network with your alumni so they can help you also. Next is tailor your resume. See, making a resume does not mean that you use a colorful resume or you use a resume which looks very bright, great fonts, not like that. Tailoring your resume means that you use simple formats which look professional and there is a meaningful information in the resume. Also, you have to craft in such a way that it should look linear. For example, if you are someone who is a fresher, then you might not need to over decorate your resume and make it larger, like 2.5 pages or 3 pages or something like that, because the recruiter understands that you are a fresher. Then you might not have worked that much, so over exaggerating your experience will also sound fake. So make sure you tailor your resume, include important sessions. So you can Google out what are the important sessions in a resume. I think the important sessions which are commonly listed is, the first one is the summary, then skills, then the projects, the educational qualification, and then the certifications if any, then the other soft skills. So I think these are the sessions that are generally pointed out. So I think you can keep these sessions, and any extra sessions are not useful, like your hobbies. If you have any hobbies, I think listing hobbies is not very much important unless and until those hobbies are suitable to the job that you are applying. Use specialized job portals. So you see, there are many job portals, but the job portals that can help you in the longer run is LinkedIn, Naukri, and Monster. So these platforms will help you in the longer run. So make sure you keep these updated, the LinkedIn, Naukri, and make sure you find the job roles with 0 to 1 years of experience. If you are someone with 0 to 1 years of experience or a fresher, make sure you find those jobs only. But also, you can also apply to the jobs that are not matching your experience, because sometimes what we do, we underqualify ourselves. So there are some jobs which might list that it requires the higher experience, like 4 to 5 years or something, but but it matches our interests, our area of work, so we do not apply. So make sure you apply even if you are underqualified, even if you feel that this is not your cup of tea. Do apply for that job if that job is matching your area of interest. The next thing is practicing the mock interviews. So this, you are having nowadays, you are having wide variety of platforms to practice the mock interviews. The first thing that you can obviously do is practice the mock interview by yourself, by recording yourself onto the camera from your laptop. Then there is some websites where you can interact with people who can take your mock interview, like Topmate. On Topmate you have wide variety of mentors who can analyze your mock interview. So I also can analyze your mock interview. So if you are interested to give a mock interview, I can take your mock interview, and you can in parallel prepare for the technical questions with your mentors or friends. So practicing mock interviews regularly is very important. So that increases your communication skills, that will help you how to present yourself in a resume, how to talk confidently. So there are many advantages when you practice mock interviews continuously. So I hope these points are helpful and they are sound to you, and I hope you would be implementing these points, and you will keep in mind these points whenever you apply for the job. Wishing you a very best in your career journey.